Hello and welcome to this lesson. So in this lesson, we're going to look at a scalping example using the order block trading strategy. So basically this is the USD card, 1 hour chart. And I'm looking at a scenario where the market came and took out this daily low. So you can see this is actually one day low. So this is the low of this is on Thursday. So we are looking at a low that was created on Wednesday being taken out, being run at 9 a.m. New York session. So from this low being run, we're going to look at the 5 minutes chart and see how we could have capitalized on this setup. So maybe even before you drop to the 5 minutes, I just wanted to maybe indicate those liquidity points. So you can see from that low down here, we had this high here as a key area of liquidity. So that is one point of liquidity that is of interest. And then also we had, maybe we had this high here. These are areas where you can use to take partials and maybe even exit positions. And then finally we had that Wednesday's high. So these are just liquidity points. So keep that in mind, that those are the liquidity points you'll be watching when you drop to the 5 minutes chart to look at the scalping example. So let's drop to the 5 minutes chart. This is on 31st October. So let's put that 31st October. So this is the day that we saw that low being run during New York session. So this is our setup example. So these are the liquidity points I mentioned. You had that high right there. So we're going to use those targets, those highs as our objectives and our targets. So let's just call them liquidity targets. So we have those liquidity targets as our potential objectives when we enter this market. So basically this is the 5 minutes chart, and you can see once we took out that daily low, we had confirmation of an order block. So basically this last down close candle before the up move is our order block, and maybe you can get the coordinates of that. This last down close candle is our order block. The high of that candle is 1.38983, 38983. Perfect. So that is our, you can call it the 5 minutes order block high. That is actually our entry point. So that is our entry point, and you can see how aggressive actually the market moved towards those liquidity targets. So let's say we took our entry inside that order block high. So our entry came in inside that order block high. So you can see actually how we came back to retest that order block. And keep in mind the time. So this is at 10:30. So make sure that you're trading inside those sessions that we already discussed. So this is 10:30 a.m. So that is still within the session we discussed. That is inside the New York session. And the first time actually we hit is at 10:25. So that could have been your entry right there. And also 10:30, it also hit the order block. So and then the stop loss comes in below, stop loss comes in at the low of the order block plus a few pips below it. Let's say we had maybe 9 pips about there. So basically you can see we had this high here. It's also a good objective near term. We had this high here. So I'll say this was a very good liquidity objective to take partials. So this high right here within the 5 minutes chart, it's a good liquidity target. So I'll recommend that this one here you take partials. So such a high you take partials. And then if we move on to the next liquidity point we have right here, that is about 3 hour. And then of course eventually we had that ultimate target, which is 4.55 hour. So these areas here, make sure that you're taking partials. So take partials in these 3 areas here. So maybe if you took out let's say 50% of your position on this area, you can take off maybe another, maybe 10 or 50, maybe 20% off. Then maybe you can, so but in total you've taken out 70%, and then you can do maybe 15% off, and the rest, the remaining 15% off at the ultimate take profit level. So basically this here should be your final take profit. Final take profit area is right there. So basically make sure that you're taking partials before you hit that take profit level, so that you can make sure that you're paying yourself. So that is a scalping example. You can see how fruitful that is. So because the order block is a very powerful actually element, and having the imbalance right here is actually making the order block even more high probability, because we have supporting evidence that the market is moving, and really moving away from these levels down here. And also the daily order block, the daily low is also a good gauge and a good key level on the higher time frame to indicate that this is a very key level. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next lesson.